Morning. So our topic today is so-called schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. Phrenia. Phrenia. Okay, so what is this? What is this type of mental illness? Uh, Illness or disease. I will just make it as a mental illness because it's so difficult, especially those people who are still under the schizophrenic mood. It's really difficult for them to come out. In my case, meaning to be honest with you folks, I always sharing with that because I experienced that myself. And then if those who are curious why you had experienced that, it was a teaching and a punishment. Okay, so bear with me. So for those family and relatives, please subscribe on my channel. I really don't know how to improve my channel, but please subscribe. And meaning what after watching my videos. So for me, I'm more on explanations because I really don't know how to use the computers yet. Anyway, our topic is schizophrenia. So, okay, so if anyone who are diagnosed with schizophrenia, I'm so very also motivate to share my experience because as I've noticed with so many false prophets or doing so many religious people on earth, especially to be as a whole, religious members or leaders, they are more into prophetic visions, prophetic uh, like warning, something like that. So I'm so inspired with them because I was watching how they think. Because for me, they are just normal, but they have a certain mental illness. But this time, then I'm so curious if they have schizophrenia because they are always saying God talks to me, Jesus talk to me, spirit talk to me, I fought with demons, demon talks to me, speak to me. So that's why what I am doing recently is that I'm inspiring myself to recall my experience last time and then put it on my YouTube channel in order for other people to discern properly, and at this after the discernment, how to handle yourself, because it's amazing. It's amazing type of mental illness, especially those who know how to handle themselves. But the trouble is when they do some kinds of prophetic visions, it happens in the surroundings eh. And then in my case, since I have also schizophrenia, my schizophrenia is, I labeled is, I want to be known about it as satanic schizophrenia. So my case is different. But I label it, meaning God is good also to me because it really teaches me, meaning, different types of experiences. So I said, Mom, God talks to you? I said, no. It was just a gift. What I done is I had a punishment, gift, and rewards, and at the same time teaching and lessons for me and appreciations for what I had done. Okay, in my life. Okay, so that's basically my reasons for really sharing my experiences. So I'm not a licensed doctor or psychiatrist or neurologist. What I'm just doing on my YouTube channel is sharing my experience in order for other families to really handle themselves properly instead of going outside and be labeled by the society as crazy. And generally, like in the Philippines, you will be kicked out in the government employees, meaning you are not allowed to work in the Philippines if you are psychologically unfit, if you don't know how to handle yourself. So that's what I'm teaching people about that. In my case, folks, I mean, I know myself very well. I handle my types of mental illness. Uh, it's not illness, ma'am, disease. I always say it's a mental illness or disease. It's my disease. So I love my disease. I love my own mental type of intellectual it cannot be labeled as disability, intellectual giftedness. I just maybe label that one. So schizophrenia meanings can be or usually diagnosed if you are experience one or more of the following symptoms most of the time for a month. That's why I always say a duration of time. Okay? Because ganito rin folks, based on my experience, it is not so easy if you are schizophrenia, folks. Why? Because you are in my case, doon ko siya, I got as, along with my mental depression, I always say five energies, right? So along with my mental depression is that I have a schizophrenia attack. But that thing is, I didn't hear any voices. What had happened to me, my type of schizophrenia with that is I always say, God is love. Why God is love is that at the end of the conversation of what I saw on the surroundings, it ends with God is love. Plus the feeling that someone is following you. Plus the feeling of, that's why I think the right terms there is delusional. Because you're delusional because when you are walking, when you see a tree, like me, when I see a tree, I will, in my mind, that tree, like for instance, my case, like right now, I'm writing on the book, meaning on the board. So when I am under a schizophrenic mood, the board for me is very meaningful. It has an energy transcendence entering in my brain and it has a different meaning. Okay, so delusionals ka din. But usually, that's why most schizophrenic person are laughing. Why they are laughing? Because it depends upon the stories of the schizophrenia messages that appears in their brain. If in my case, it's more on love. And in my schizophrenic, I have also from the trees and I have also from my phone. So, yung phone ko last year, mag-highlights yan ng words of love. That's why, folks, meaning, even if you're curious, I have my co-teachers here. They knew. That's why they will be joking at me because they will be, they found out that last year when I told them I have a boyfriend in personal, in reality I have a boyfriend, but the thing that the revelations that I am telling them that I have a boyfriend even to my family is that schizophrenic, meaning to say part of my schizophrenia that someone is courting me through online through my phone. It will highlighted some words in my brain and then I will be thinking that's from my current boyfriend, pero hindi ko siya, he is not my boyfriend, it's a schizophrenia. But it's not talking to me like because if you google there is delusions, there is hallucinations. Sa hallucinations, folks, i-disclose ko ang hallucinations for schizophrenia because hallucinations for me is just normal. Any one of us can hallucinate. Okay? So, any one of us can hallucinate. So, it's just normal. Kung magsabi ng mga tao sa inyo, ma'am, nag-hallucinates ako, that's the best mental abilities of all the writers, especially for romantic novels. So, and then, especially in the Bible also, folks. So, those who are writers, they are good in hallucinations. Okay, so hallucinations, folks, it's not, for me, I want to delete that in the schizophrenia because it is a natural giftedness of all writers. So, kung writer ka, dapat magaling ka mag-hallucinates. Okay, mag-imaginations. Especially those marriage couple who are having a long distance relationships. So sa inyo yan, it's so normal to hallucinate. Okay, especially if mga boyfriend, girlfriend, mag-hallucinate kayo, it's so normal. Okay? So it's so normal. It's not a schizophrenia. Okay? So next is, I'm so curious with this, their definitions, hearing voices. So, sa akin, yung schizophrenia ko na may sinasabi ako, number one was that through trees. So, sa may trees ako, sa kahoy. Yung kahoy nangungusap sa akin. Love daw nila ako. Okay? Number two is that cellphone. Yung cellphone ko, in our Visayan language, our culture and belief for that is nabuyagan ko. That's why I'm also nabuyagan ko. Okay, so love yan. Tsaka tatawa ka. You will be laughing, folks, because imagine, your phone is sending you messages. It will just highlight it. It will just, if there is, for example, if you're on the phone, if you read on the phone, for example, you will read something like sentence, for example, like in the Bible. Let's take in the Bible. Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serves Him." Kunyari sa cellphone to. If this is on my phone, the only highlighted there, it will highlights on my brain is that Jesus and Satan. Para siyang, anong tawag doon? There's a highlighter. Yung mata ko highlighter. Until today, still highlighting, folks. If you notice, kaya in the Philippines, pag nag-online ako tapos nagko-comments, if I do comments, sinasabi nila sa akin, baliw daw ako kasi ang weird ko talaga mag-comments, folks. Okay? So that's it's a different types of satanic schizophrenia ko. Hindi nga yan, schizophrenia din siya, pero words schizophrenia. May words schizophrenia ako, kaya minsan manginginsulto talaga ako kasi ang sakit eh. I have a mental sickness that I'm trying to treat. It's a words schizophrenia. So I have a words schizophrenia. Okay? So aawayin ko any kinds of words, quotations, aawayin ko, magko-comments ako, it will relate in my life, ang haba. Okay, mental sickness talaga siya, pero words. Pero hindi yan, for me, it's more on smartness. Pang matalino siya. Kung matalino kang tao, if you are intelligent, sakit mo yan. Pero ewan ko kung sino mga tao sa mundo ang mayroong words schizophrenia. But we will be focusing here, schizophrenia, para ma-dissect natin. You can discern. Okay? And then, number C is hearing voices. Ito lang din ang corrections ko sa schizophrenia. Hearing voices. Iba yung hearing, meaning naririnig from your ears. Meaning, like for example, that you can hear someone is talking from your ears. It's different from schizophrenia. Yung schizophrenia, folks, your brain, your neurotransmitter is the one talking. That's why you are answering. Okay? Tapos, delusional kasi you are controlled. There's a movie here in the Philippines that it's talking about, it really talks, yung movie ni, sino ba yun, si Pia Wurzbach, tsaka si Gerard Anderson. Yung movie na yan, Schizophrenia. That's a very perfect example of a schizophrenia person. Yung mag-impersonate siya na, kunyari, pero ganito yung folks, sa experience ko, yung ganyan yung talaga yung mangyayari. Yung sa akin naman yung schizophrenia ko, like Gerard Anderson and Pia Wurzbach movie na may sakit siya na parang, nakita ko ito pala yung ko. Ganyan yan. Pero yan folks, ang ibig sabihin, it means, if you are having like that, patay ka. That's a born again, meaning to say, you as a person, for example, dun sa movie, it reflects that Gerard Anderson was a living dead. Okay? Living dead. Ito na lang para ma-perfect natin yung yung kwento. Kasi yung hearing voices, hindi ko siya ma-level as schizophrenia. Magpasalamat for all the people who can hear voices of spirits, as I call that. Magpasalamat kayo sa Diyos. You praise God for that if you're given a chance to hear that. Okay? So ito lang masasabi ko. Dito muna tayo sa words schizophrenia na sakit ko at saka sa movie ng movie ni Gerard Anderson talking about, hindi ko maano kasi kung ano yung movie pero ang explanations ko dyan is patay si Gerard, movie siya pero ay i-describe ko siya based on my experience. Patay si Gerard Anderson, pinatay siya sa gabi, kinabukasan the next day, yun ang makikita niya. That's what he saw in his surroundings. Okay na, iniibig niya yung pupunta yan folks ng mga lugar. Yung sa movie, parang inano nila na talagang pupunta ka ng lugar. You go places, you travel places based on my experience as well. That's why also there are so many mental depressed women. They will be going to the church and really praying and kneel down. Tapos magsusugat-sugat pa yan sila. Okay, na yan sila? May slights yan sila na schizophrenia. Okay? So, yun ang experience. Dito back tayo sa movie ni Gerard Anderson and Pia Wurzbach. Okay, ganito yun. Either nag-travel si Gerard Anderson and what he saw in the surroundings is really what he saw. Na buhay niya, yung tao, ganito yun. Instead, for example, kunyari ako si Gerard Anderson, I'm going to Bayawan, and then schizophrenia ako. If I can see a lady, or a man, kasi Gerard ako, tapos Gerard lalaki ako, babae na lang ako, kunyari ako babae, may schizophrenia ako ngayon. If I went to Bayawan, I see, the first person that I see is that my boyfriend. Pero yung boyfriend ko, makikita ko, wow, I will explain, wow, that's my boyfriend. Pero ano lang, silhouette. And then, ganyan yan siya, folks. Tapos, lalapit ka. Paglapit mo, that's a different person. Tapos yung mga, the surroundings, the whole story in the whole town of Bayawan where I'm walking, related siya sa buhay ko. Na kung may nakita ako na, if I saw couple, I say, that's Gerard Anderson and me. Pag maglakad ako, that's ibang tao din. That's Gerard Anderson and me. Ganyan yung sa akin, folks, na schizophrenia. Kaya yung, kung hindi mo alam, if you have a relative sabing schizophrenia and they don't know what they are doing to themselves, ganyan ka. Tapos hindi ka pa naliligo kasi the night before you went to the Bayawan, yan din nangyayari sa panaginip mo in your dreams. Pero walang busis dito. All it takes is inside your brain. Your brain is okay. Those who are watching me, you try to, kaya yung mga Buddhist maganyan yan mag-meditate. Pag mag-meditate kayo, folks, ganyan, di ba? Pag mag-meditate kayo, mag-meditate ako. Wala akong maisip. Okay? I don't have any thinking. Dark yung brain ko if you want me all to describe. Pero pag schizophrenia ka na, nagkukwento, your brain is talking, speaking, hindi hearing voices, speaking inside your brain, na nagkukwento, folks, na ang pangit, nakakaganyan, masisiraan kayo ng bait. Okay? It really makes you crazy because your brain is speaking, na gumagawa ng kwento. It's nice to read. When you read a book, it's so normal to read, right? Like, bakit books? Okay. Magbasa ka. Kaya sabi ko, Holy Bible, for me, to be honest with you folks, kaya maganda din na sa turo sa amin sa Born Again is that when we read the Holy Bible, we need to pray first. Pray to God first before reading. Kaya pangit siya i-advise to have children to read that. Unless nagbabasa lang na for storytelling, pero nakakasira ng bait, folks. That's why so many people, religious leaders and members are going into schizophrenia or having a specific mental illness because of the Bible. Because it has an effects kasi the story is so emotional. Okay, so emotional. Na yung iba pinaganda lang ng writer, but if you imagine or you imagines the story of the Holy Bible, ang sagwa. Okay? So yan ang schizophrenia. Next is letter D, incoherent speech or negative symptoms such as flattening emotions. Talaga. Tatawa pa nga yan They are all laughing. Pero schizophrenia na yun. Maglalakad yung mga baliw folks na schizophrenia, tatawa. Okay lang sana kung tatawa na, yung maglalakad ka na, ganyan, kasi naglalaro yung utak mo. Ang pangit sa this is the difference with schizophrenia. You will be looking around, and then everything is related to you. The trees is talking to you. Hihinto ka. Hihinto ako, tapos mag-telepathic kami. So, I didn't, maririnig mo, I can hear on my brain was that, based on my experience was that, like for example, one instance, I was standing in Basay, tapos, yung tree, dalakit tree. So, dalakit tree, it refers to me like, lumingon ka. Lingon ako kasi may narinig ako sa brain ko, telepathic. Folks, iba yung hearing voices sa telepathic voices, meaning your brain is telling you that you have to look back. But if you look back, when you say then you will say okay, and then the tree will trying to talk to you. O magtitingin ka lang sa tree or the ball pen. For example, this ball pen will what you call this one, would like to connect to me. What's the message to me from the spirits of the ball pen? Mag-message to sa akin, hindi naririnig, not auditory, telepathic. Okay. Tapos mag-message yung ball pen. But different also for those people who are idealist. Yung idealist naman, folks, hallucinations yun, imaginations yun, competing to each other, how idealist, may mga grupo din sa mundo na mga tinatawag na idealist. Ako, folks, one of the best idealist, mag-aangkin talaga ako na one of the best idealist on earth. Pag sabihin mo, pakitain mo ako ng suklay, sabihin ko sa, I will hallucinate and imagine so many visions with this. But I can also talk about it as biblical ba, love ba, o it in different aspects. Pero normal yun na utak ng matatalino. O if you have extra talents and normal lang yun. Hindi yun mga whatsoever. Iba na yung schizophrenia, may energy yun. There is an energy, I called it transcendence energy. Pero iba naman yan, spirits energy. Hindi yung spirits. Ang description ko dyan is transcendence energy na parang radiated. Alam niyo yung plastic, have you bought plastic covers na pag ilalapit mo yung skin mo sa plastic, parang mag radiations. Okay, so agoy lang. Okay? So that's how it works. Okay? So ganyan yung feeling ng schizophrenia, pero ganyan na talaga, folks. Kaya lang ayusin mo lang. I don't know how to teach people how did I treat it. Kaya sabi ko the treatment. Okay, I think we have more on there are also things, there are also people also they have also definitions that schizophrenia also meaning the people also hear multiple voices that are male, nasty, repetitive, commanding, and interactive, where person can ask the voice a question and get some answer. And then the person is more whispering or murmuring. Again, I clarify. Walang naririnig. There's no voices here auditory from any schizophrenic person. Okay? Based on my experience, telepathic. Okay? Your neurotransmitters, your neurons, your brain is the one talking to you. Okay? Tapos, may iba din na may voices. Then the voices also. The voices, kung may voices ka na, yan ang tinatawag na splitting personality. Meaning to say, that's why they said that there is a voices, male, nasty, repetitive, commanding, interactive, where the person can ask the voice and get some, yes. Ano yun? That's why I'm a proponent that pag lumala na, mental depression, okay lang. It's normal. Pero talagang may spirits dyan na ibibigay si God sa inyo depending on your capabilities and energy and the type of spirits who likes you. Yung parang twins. Twins, nature spirits yon. Iba din yung spirits natin sa yung star kasi natin is when we die, that's our star. That we need to take good care na gusto nating puntahan. Okay, para schizophrenia, no? Hallucinations, hindi. Did I experience having schizophrenia with the stars? Yeah, pero ayoko niyan. It's a different aspect. So dito lang tayo sa Earth. Okay? So and then talagang sasagot ka kasi yung then again, schizophrenia kanya, may voices, different type of voices. That's why for me, in my experience for schizophrenia, I think I will give that honor and glory to Mary, Mother Earth. I think I'm shivering. Yes, it's Mother Earth. The spirits of Mother Earth treat my schizophrenia and words schizophrenia. Tinitreat niya to stop the neurotransmitters and the transcendence energies of the natures in speaking to me. Dalawa yan sila. Tsaka si Mike din. Pero si Mike talagang I didn't allow him to speak with me. Kasi reincarnation ako, folks, June 7 yan dumating. Okay, so hindi ko siya ina-allow. When was I had a schizophrenia? Mag-schizophrenia na ako along with my mental depression. Okay? So, Kasi 'di ba mental depression, tapos my God is love ako, tapos may schizophrenia ako na nanliligaw. That's words, schizophrenia and nature spirits schizophrenia. O yan ang tinatawag ko. So and then who treated me? It's Mother Earth spirits. So Mother Earth, thank you so much for loving me. You're the humblest. That's this, I don't like to cry, but this is the thing with me. That's why I really working hard to really send the message through online world to really help the nature to the people, to really wear mask, make cleanings. Kasi kawawa si Mother Earth. That's the reason why, in opposite with that, si Mother Earth, I really love her. I don't like her to call Mary. I better to call her Mary Magdalene. So, si Mother Earth, I really like to call her in the Bible, Mary Magdalene. Ayoko si Mama Mary. Kasi si Mama Mary, yung Holy Rosary niya, lapdus yan eh. Calvary yan. Ganyan ako, folks, na ano ako, na 50 shades ako. And this is, I will add up with that, base, meaning, kasi may, ano ako punishment. So, since Schizophrenia is flattening, tatawa yan. loving. After that, so okay na sana ako, folks, for my words, Schizophrenia plus Schizophrenia from the nature spirits plus God is love, tapos yung movie na sinasabi ko na yung surroundings ko parang si AJ lahat, hindi si AJ, I'm calling AJ the spirits of online worlds na nanliligaw talaga yan sa akin. That's why I'm telling my coworkers in two different schools that I have that I have a boyfriend. I have an engagement. Pero it was the products of schizophrenia. And after I win over my schizophrenia, here comes, okay na sana ako. Si Mary Magdalene, dumating na. Si Mother Earth, aka Mary Magdalene. Ayoko sa... And then, here comes the punishment. Why I got a punishment? Because I overcome the schizophrenia and Mary Magdalene or Mother Earth spirits come to me to treat me. Kaya sabi, God has, yung Diyos, folks, iba-iba ang mukha ng Diyos. Hindi iba-ibang mukha. Level ang Diyos. So, may Diyos na taga-parusa. Okay. So, ako rin, kasi ganito ako, I was schizophrenia. My words, schizophrenia pa ako. I'm so good in talking with my boyfriend. Kasi doon ako nag-express ako sa... Then, after the schizophrenia is, I got a punishment in the Calvary. Yung punishment ko, folks, is 50 Shades of Gray. Ito lang din. That's why I'm a promoter. Kaya maganda na yung experience ko. Additional ko siya ng spiritual aspects. Because after I conquered the schizophrenia and words schizophrenia and God is love, schizophrenia was that, then plus mental depression ng sobrang talino ko in terms of in handling my mental depression na manics talaga ako na sobrang bastos. Okay? I got a punishment. My punishment in the Calvary or Purgatory, as I call that, Purgatory, Calvary, and Purgatory, folks, Purgatory is the place, Purgatory is a place where all the sinners are punished. All punished. Lahat ng mga dead human beings they are punished in purgatory. Okay, so purgatory yon. Okay, so that's my experience. That's why it's so traumatic in me. It's so traumatized. May trauma ako, folks. My boyfriend challenged me to watch that movie, and I really didn't. I just play games that I really don't like even movies. Then I have also co-teachers that really like that movie. Hindi, ayoko. I have a trauma for 50 Shades movie. Pero love ko yung mga music niya. Okay? So there's a thing also. There is a negative and there is a positive. Kaya treat yourself. So whoever are caretakers of people who are having a schizophrenia, ask the person having the schizophrenia what he or she feelings. Folks, walang tulugan yan. Sleepless. Tapos maglalakad, paliguan nyo lang. Don't believe in the saying that if you don't sleep, the next day you're not allowed to take a bath because mapas mo ka. Take a bath. Let that person take a bath in order for him or her to be looking formal even if they have a mental sickness. Schizophrenia is a serious sickness. Okay, so may suggestions na ako dyan sa gamot. So, visit the nearest psychiatrist and again, my time is up. When you visit or when you bringing your relatives in a doctor, psychiatrist, licensed doctor, men or women, lalo na sa mga lalaki kasi mahiya yan eh. Huwag kayong mahiya. Go to the nearest psychiatrist. Then, again, huwag bilhin agad ang gamot. Try one piece. Observe your brains and your physical whole beings. It will react eh. Okay, so kung mamamatay ka, kaya sabi ko half muna, half. Kasi strong eh. That's the thing also that I'm promoting for all. Pang ano ko lang din yun, for pharmaceutical companies. Ayusin nyo naman yung gamot nyo, sir. Pero walang tayo magawa eh. Nagawa na nila eh. Pero sa akin is, based on my experience, kunti-kunti muna. O, kung makatulog ng maayos, ask him or her who has the schizophrenia. What did you feel? Okay. Magsasalita niyan, folks. Tapos, ano pa yan? Isog, strong. Then, impostor. They can play games. And schizophrenia people can kill as well. Mga kriminal yan na yun lang din ang maganda sa mga taong may sakit sa utak. If they have a schizophrenia, that they have a criminals, they are excused by the law. But those normal-minded people that they don't accept that they don't have sickness, hindi nila aware, talagang they will just be a killer or criminal, talagang makukulong sila. So, yun lang din yung excuse ng mga ibang mga criminal na nag-excuse sila because they have a mental sickness. Pero ito lang din sa schizophrenia. It is a serious problem. So, kusis yata niyan, ma'am. Mag-ano kayo ng kusis kasi in my case, puros love yung sa akin eh. At saka may galit din ako eh. Kaya pumapatay talaga, folks. Tapos mag-impostor ka lang na, I will kill you. I will kill you. Then the next day, I will say, Bin Laden kills you. Kung tapos, certified ka na schizophrenia, walang magagawa ang judge sa'yo. Okay? So, yan lang. Again, I repeat, schizophrenia can be a killer. Okay, in my case, if I kill someone, I will just say in the court, Saint Bin Laden was reincarnated in me. That's why I kill you. Sasabihin ko lang na ganyan. Tapos may voices ka pa dyan. You can create different types of voices depending on the spirits that comes to you to either heal you or get your mental sickness and diseases worse. Okay, kasi depende yan sa kindness and goodness or the installations of your own genes of how bad or good you are. Okay. So sa akin, folks, ano lang siya, lumalabas kasi na galit na galit. Kaya yun ang sabi ko, no. So I had a bento purgatory kaya kiniklaim ko siya in return for that, in order to treat myself from the trauma in the purgatory. I am claimants as the best sex mentalist on earth. Kaya pag bad mood ako or good mood, so usually good mood, magaling ako, folks, tumitingin ng mga pornographic sites. Doon ako I will be watching for them. Tinitingnan ko kung gaano sila kagaling. Ganyan lang ako. Kaya pag sabi, if in the church teaching is that they will say pornographic business is immorality, sex immorality against the law. My response for that, mas magaling pa ako dyan. That's how my treatment because of my so I am claimants as the best sex mentalist on earth. Tapos another one for that, just to calm down myself because I have been punished in such a way na in our language nabuyagan ka, kay you are the best. Kasi mag-comments ako, folks. Tapos, in the online world, there is a spirits who are watching us all. Ang sabi ko naman, God is connected us all through online world. Proponents ko yan, folks. Kaya wag tayong special Filipinos. Grabe magsalita ng mga Filipinos, kaya pala no heaven, Luchi. Kasi in the online world, we have to be careful with what we speak or comments because whatever we post online is that it reflections of how our intelligence is. Hindi siya reflections for your, kasi yung mouth kasi natin folks, when it speak, it has a time to think. But when you are online, wala, hindi siya lumalabas. So, holy, our brain is holy. So, meaning to say, once it's holy, it's holy. Okay? So, we're talking here schizophrenia. Kaya, ayusin, folks, for those who have relatives with schizophrenia, please apply the eating habits of the Filipino. From the time it wakes up in the morning before the sun rises, have coffee, bread, have breakfast before 8 o'clock, snacks times at 9:30, before 12 is the eating time, lunch, snacks in the afternoon or coffee or what. I suggested more on milk, and Milo. Yeah, because it's really yeah. So I recommended no coffee as well. It's all right also with coffee because you are not sleeping. So at least you have the stamina. Then before 6 o'clock dinner. Okay, then pray your God. Each one of us has its own God. So pray your God kasi hindi natin masasabi my God, your God is my God. So walang yan pray, always pray. And then if it's demonic, because there are people, depende kasi, again, I repeat, before I end up, usually, it's demonic na. Pag schizophrenia, if you are already if you are already having a schizophrenia, it's more on demonic side of either oneself spirits and the invaded spirits, my proponent. Okay? So, in as much as you can, be good. Think about what really good person you are. Don't think about, kasi, ano yan it always telling you that you are bad, you are bad, you are bad. So, instead of accepting that you are bad, say, I am good. So, your brain is telling you, you are bad. You have to reply, I am good. Now, for other people who are using schizophrenia for religious prophetics, this is the thing. You know that what you are thinking is bad once it happened to the world or the community, especially through online. They are prophetic visions that these calamities will be coming. Like I think I will add up Notre Dame in these sides. Notre Dame is the very known prophets who will foretell that there is an incoming earthquake. Ito lang din. Notre Dame. Galing mo, folks. Galing mo, Toy. Ito lang. If you knew, especially magre-reflex kasi yan, schizophrenia yan, folks. That's a product of schizophrenia. Okay. If you knew that once an earthquake appear in certain areas, magsasabi din yan ng lugar It will also speak about where the places it happens, the schizophrenia, the earthquake or the typhoons or the calamities. It will reflect. If you knew that that area is poor and all the people are there are poor, just talk to your God and say, Sir, or God, stop that. Don't show up. Ito lang din, huwag tayong magpasikat kasi para sabihin sa mundo na sikat tayo. Wag. And then, prophetic is just, it happened by circumstances. Okay, pag magsasabi si Notre Dame, may earthquake bukas, sa so and so, by instances, may mangyayari. But here's the thing, especially Notre Dame, galing mo, Toy. It really happens. May connected yata ito sa Panginoon Because this is ganyan. So ganyan yung mga schizophrenia folks na magsasalita na parang ganyan. Okay, so pero sa akin normal, wala nang transcendence. Okay, so if here's the thing, that's why it's so thankful also for all the schizophrenic people on earth. You must be thankful that nowadays we are all allowed, or we are mandatory to wear masks and face shields and eyeglasses in order for us when we are whispering or murmuring in responding on what our brain is talking about. We are wearing masks so we aren't quote by our friends, relatives, that we have a mental sickness. Okay, so handle ourselves properly and take it as a gift. Maybe write a book about your sickness or what you have experienced. Okay, so kasi it depends upon if it's demonic, write it on a books. I suggested for the final thing is those who are schizophrenic people, whatever you see in your dreams or in your brains, write it on a book or a piece of paper. Write it down and make it as a story because the next day you won't forget about it. You will forget. Okay, so write it down. Maganda yun, lalo na pag demonic evilness, mga bad sides, blah blah blah, kasi magre-response eh. So whatever is wrong, wrote it down. That's what I did last year. Wrote it down. Why? You can create that when you are like parang bangag yan. If you are out from the maze of the world of schizophrenia, when you're out, you can check your notebook and you can rewrite it, and you can maybe pass it in any entertainment industry or movie industry and be a writer of a books based on your